Today's video contains 5 tips for new ID4 owners.
This tip is likely one you're going to use every single day if you charge overnight like we do. So this charging cable came with the car. It's plugged in right now and you can see the green light, the car's charging. Well, you can't just simply walk up here and pull the charger out. It's locked in there and there's no way to physically get the charger to unlock on the outside of the car with it charging like this. So you have two choices. The first one is you can go into the car and you can hit the button that says stop now on the infotainment screen. Sometimes in the morning it's really slow and you don't want to have to get in your car and then back out of your car, unplug and then get back into your car. So the way I always recommend this to people is all you have to do is hit the unlock button twice and you can see the light turns white. And as soon as it does that, you can pull the charging cable right out. So this is great. This is also useful if you pull up to, say, an Electrify America station and the cord gets stuck, maybe the button turn or the little light turns red. All you have to do is hit the unlock twice on the key fob, once again right there. And as soon as you do that, even if the charging cable's messed up, the communication had an error, it will unlock the charging cable and you can pull it out and get on your way. So super useful tip. Most likely you're going to use it every single day.
So one of the things that ID4 owners complain a lot about is the lagginess of the infotainment system. But from day one, there's something that you can do to help improve the fluidity of the system and make the day-to-day usability a lot better. When you first get the car, I highly recommend you do this. Now the second screen contains this navigation preview and duplicate buttons from the first screen for vehicle, telephone, and if you have any media playing, it'll appear here. So this right here is the culprit of what we're going to talk about. This is essentially just a smaller version of the full navigation experience that comes with the VW ID4. And honestly, it's not the greatest system. Most people are going to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And you don't really want this here because this is going to cause additional issues with your infotainment system that don't need to be there. So if you saw what I just did, you're going to want to put your finger down and hold for 5 seconds. And once you do that, you're going to get a screen that looks something like this. You want to simply hit the trash can, and then that gets rid of the navigation on this secondary screen. And believe it or not, that actually makes a significant improvement on the usability of the system. It's still not going to be perfect, but definitely way better. If for some reason you ever want to get this navigation back here, all you have to do is hold your finger down again. You'll see the screen pop up, select map, and it's back. This tip is for those of you who live in really expensive states like California, where your electricity rates can go wild at certain times of the day, depending on whether or not it's peak or off-peak hours. What I'm going to show you is how to set up your charging time so that way it will only charge the vehicle regardless of whether or not it's plugged in certain times of the day, so you don't have to worry about charging when it's during peak hours. So in order to do this, you're going to want to select the vehicle icon here, and then if you're not already, you select the locations tab. This location tab is basically going to allow you to tell the car, hey, this is my home or my work or whatever. And once you do that, you can set certain preferences for charging. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a test here. Click add current position as a charging location. I'm going to type test, hit OK. Now we can see that where I'm currently parked in some random park, that there's a test location. So I'm going to select that. And there are all sorts of things you can do on this menu. It gets a little too complicated for the purpose of this video, so I'm going to skip through this part. But the thing we care about the most is preferred times. So what you're going to want to do with preferred times is you can select one. And let's say that where you live, the off-peak hours start at 11 p.m. So I'm going to slide this up here. And let's say they end at 4 a.m. So now that I have these selected like this, we can go ahead and go back. I'm going to check this box. Now, once I check this box, the car is only going to charge at this location from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. So let's say you want to set your charging percent to 80%. That means that at this location, the car will charge to 80%, assuming there's actually enough time to complete the charge, and then no more. If you move the slider that says immediately charge, if you plug the car in, regardless of your preferred time, the car will start to charge immediately. So once we have our test profile set up here, we can go up to charging, which is still in the vehicle menu. You can see that it says settings for test. So this is the profile that I just created. At the bottom here, it says immediately charge to 0%. So if I plug the car in right now, it's not going to charge at all. However, you can see over here that it's told to charge to 80%. So at the time that I told it to, it will charge my car to 80%. So hopefully this tip was helpful for you, and it makes it easy for you to set up a charging profile at your house where you can charge during off-peak hours and not spend so much money on filling up the vehicle. I'm going to talk about the proper way to plug in your ID4 when you're in an Electrify America charging station, just like this one. So if you read the screen here, it says plug in first, but if you do that, there's actually sometimes issues with the ID4 communicating with the charger itself. So if I were to plug in right now, it may work, it may not work, but typically what I find is that more often than not, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So there's actually a better way to do this that I learned. The Electrify America customer support actually told me a better way to do this to make sure you're getting consistently the fast charging speed that the charger says that it can do. And you can see the charging speed down here at 150 kilowatts. Now the ID4 currently only accepts 125 kilowatts, so anything above that is going to be a perfect fit. So what you're going to want to do first is figure out what charger you're at. And you can see this one says EB1, or if you go all the way to the top here, you can see the charger ID and the location. So what you're going to want to do is pull open the app here, and you can see that based on my location, it's already found a charger. So I'm going to select the charging location I'm at, and you scroll up and you find the charger that you're located at. I'm at number 1, so I select number 1 here, and then where it says swipe to charge at the bottom, it'll say processing payment, initiating charging, and as soon as you do that, the screen will change to say please plug in. And as soon as you plug in, it'll start charging and you'll be good to go. This tip involves fixing your infotainment screen whenever there are bugs, glitches, or other issues, whether it be connecting to Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, audio issues with the stereo system, buttons with the haptic feedback not taking input, anything like that. It's very easy to reset the infotainment screen, and all you have to do is hold down the power button right here for 10 seconds. And the screen will eventually turn black and shut off completely. There we go. And I should note that this doesn't turn off the driver display gauge. So if you're having issues over here with anything, weird things going on with the display, you're gonna have to get out of the car, walk away for 20 to 30 minutes, and then come back, allow the car to sleep, and that will be corrected. Now we can go back over here and see the screen is rebooting. And for us, this has corrected 99% of the things that we've had issues with in terms of connectivity and otherwise with the infotainment system. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope if you're a new ID4 owner, there are at least a few tips in here that you found helpful.